Imagine having everything you need to become something great, but fear keeps you buried until the day someone digs you up and throws you into the fire. This is the story of two seeds, and one of them made a terrible choice. But before we begin, subscribe to the channel, follow us, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Because this story may be more than just a story about two seeds. It may be a story about you. A farmer once planted two seeds in the same field. They were buried under the same soil. They received the same rain. They felt the same sunshine. They had the same opportunity. But what happened next was completely different. The first seed said, "I want to grow. I want to become a strong tree. I want to give fruit and provide shade to people." So it pushed its roots deep into the ground. The soil was hard, but it kept pushing. When the rain came, it drank the water. When the sun became hot, it endured the heat. When strong winds came, it held tightly to the soil. It didn't know what was waiting above the ground. But it believed that there was something greater beyond the darkness. So it kept growing. The second seed was afraid. It heard the first seed pushing through the soil, but instead of following, it said, "What if I grow and someone steps on me? What if the rain destroys me? What if the wind breaks me? What if I give everything and nobody appreciates me?" So the second seed stayed buried. Days passed. Then weeks. The first seed continued growing. Slowly, it broke through the darkness. It finally saw the sunlight. It became a small plant. Then a strong tree. Eventually, birds rested in its branches. And it produced beautiful fruit. But the second seed remained exactly where it was. It had the same opportunity. The same soil. The same rain. The same sunlight above it. But fear kept it underground. One day, someone came and dug up the ground. And there it was. The second seed. Still buried. Still afraid. Still unchanged. The farmer picked it up and looked at it. He had expected to find a seed that had grown roots, a young plant, or at least the beginning of something. But there was nothing. It was exactly as he had planted it. The farmer was preparing the field for another planting season. He gathered the old, useless things from the soil and made a small fire. Then, without knowing what the seed could have become, he threw it into the fire with the dry weeds and other waste. The seed that had once had the potential to become a great tree was now nothing but ashes. Meanwhile, not far away, stood the first seed. It had become a strong tree. Its branches were spreading. The two seeds had started in the same field. They had received the same rain, same sunlight, and given the same opportunity. But one chose to grow, and the other chose to remain buried. It spent its entire life protecting itself from the dangers of growing. It was afraid of the rain and wind. And in the end, it never discovered what it could become. That is the tragedy of the second seed. It did not lose because it was incapable of becoming a tree. It lost because it never gave itself the chance. Sometimes we are like those two seeds. We have dreams, abilities, opportunities, and gifts inside us. But fear says, "What if I fail? What will people say? What if things become difficult?" So we remain where we are. Not because we cannot grow, but because we are afraid to try. Remember this. The seed cannot become a tree while it is afraid of leaving the soil. Yes, growth can be painful, storms may come, people may criticize you. But if you never rise because you are afraid of falling, you will never discover how high you could have grown. And sometimes, you don't need to worry for tomorrow. You only need enough courage to take the next step today. The seed must break through the soil before it can see the sunlight. And sometimes, the darkness around you is not the end of your story, it may simply be the place where your roots are growing. So, don't let yesterday's failure bury tomorrow's opportunity. Rise. Take the next step. Keep growing. Because somewhere inside you is something that the world has never seen yet. Don't be the seed that died buried in fear. Be the seed that chose to grow. May the Lord bless you.